Welcome back to New Realities. I'm Alan Steinfeld, and I am joined today by probably my favorite astrologer. Everybody knows astrology is the forecast for the future. It is the cosmic weather report. And Raquel Spring is a fourth generational astrologer, and she looks at astrology, I would say, in a way where we can see the evolution of consciousness. Is that fair, Raquel, to say that?
Absolutely, 100%.
And she is keen in to something I'm really excited about and what I feel a part of, the Aquarian mind, the Aquarian evolution that's happening. So, in just to set a grounding of understanding, what does that mean? How is the Aquarian vision of reality different than the Piscean or others? I'm just curious what you have to say.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. It's a joy to be here. Always a joy to be with you. I feel like every time that we tune in together, whether it's on a phone call or an interview, it's just like the downloads come through, and it's a very powerful experience for myself as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
It's very interesting, the energy of evolution that you were talking about here in the beginning as well, because it really is the emphasis of what I feel up until this point, my entire existence. It is the sum total accumulation of who I am and what I'm here to do. And astrology was a determining factor for that. Astrology helped me to see that we are here to evolve, right? When I came into that crossroads with good or bad, right or wrong, do we have choice, free will, like what is going on here? At the apex of it all, after years of going through a very intense path with that, I realized that it's all about evolution. So from that point on, my entire work around astrology really took on that focus of like, this is not about good or bad, this or that, right or wrong. This is about evolution. So the age of Aquarius now coming into the picture stronger than ever is something very exciting for me, because it is right along the lines of my discoveries of what we're here to do. And so when I look at the age of Aquarius, I see a threshold of evolution for humanity. I've been working a lot with evolution on a one-on-one basis and groups but now it's at a point where it's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you like it or not, every single living being on Earth is going through an evolutionary process. So Aquarius is bringing that state of evolution at a quantum rate to all of life. Even if you stop and look at animals, for example, how many of us have seen videos of animals doing things that we would never imagine them doing 10, 20 years ago? Right? The collective
hooking up with other animals, becoming
dancing. I mean, I've seen videos of animals dancing. Like, there's animals saying words. Like, so many pets nowadays are literally treated and considered as children for many humans. And in this, there is a natural evolution that's happening of consciousness, of awareness with all of life, So,
I agree.
yes.
No, go ahead. So what were we going to say?
So I was going to just answer you. The transition from Pisces to Aquarius is right now, humanity, we're always going through these continual stages of evolution. And the Piscean age, which is where we've been in for the last 2,000 years, the Piscean age was a state of evolution where mankind was ready to realize that we are more than just the physical. Because up until then, we were in the age of Aries, or the age of the ram, and it was all about the will, right? And the fighting for things. And there was a lot about the fights and the wars and the conflicts. And it was a lot of the evolution of humanity through that, developing the strength, the courage, the sense of ego and self, and so many things along those lines. And then the age of Pisces came in, and we began a 2,000-year journey, really understanding what it was like to be aware of self on different levels: emotional, spiritual, which was the most important one, But there were also many things around, these last 2,000 years that opened the door for us to understand through that. Like we got into spiritualism. Many religions started to come into the picture around that time, helping humanity evolve through the sense of connection with something more. Right, the connection with God, with the divine. And we had so many different people that came into the picture and opened the door to psychology, right? Understanding the psyche of the human mind, the intricacy. We're not just the ego, there's so much more. And the hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and then opening the door to other understandings of spirit, which is where we're at today. And even in that, things like psychedelics and drugs, like all those things belong to the Piscean age that were helping us achieve these altered states of consciousness.
We were opening the doorway, I say, to new reality.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the purpose of these ages, these stages of evolution, is to ease humanity into the full godlike realized self.
I totally agree. That's what I'm dedicated to. And let's have a dialogue about that. I see it as, okay, it's about the evolution of consciousness, and it's about the acknowledgement of spirit. So that, I think, for our tribe, our community, it's foundational. It's already established. We don't have to argue, and maybe people are still like in the mechanistic Western worldview that it's just all biology and there's nothing else beyond the body. But that's okay. We don't have to talk to those people, or they can listen. But let's use what we know to even go further. So if it's, and this is the conversation I have with Deepak Chopra when I interview him, he says, it's all consciousness. I said, that's right, Deepak, we know that, but what is the application of consciousness? It's great to say it's all consciousness, and you can't argue with that, but that is foundational. And from that foundation, then we need to do something with the consciousness that we are. We don't have to do anything, but I think we're incarnated to do something. And this application of consciousness, of the mind, of this vaster mind, the mind at large, as Aldous Huxley said, is what I feel the Aquarian age is about. Yes, it's all consciousness. Of course, it's all conscious. We got that one. Now let's do something with it. Let's apply it to non-local awareness. I teach remote viewing. And this, I feel, is the new human that's coming online. The fact that we have gifts of the spirit, I call it, the gifts of awareness that we can then use to even be better human beings, more aware, more conscious. Well, what does it feel like if I do this? And you project yourself into the future and you see what are the consequences of that action. Instead of just taking action, we can resonate with a future possibility. And for me, that's part of the mercurial Uranian alignment with, in my chart, maybe with the Aquarian energy. So, and it's a practice, okay, sometimes I go unconscious and don't think about that. So that's what I want to qualify with you, the principles and characteristics, perhaps, of the new human in the Aquarian age. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Yeah. Thank you. I love to hear you speak, Alan, and share your wisdom as well. Yeah.
It's just dropping in. When you're looking like that, I think you're thinking, and I think my perception, you already know this, Raquel. It's already infused in you, is the vision, because you're accessing it in the intensity and excitement of your readings. It's like, it's infused in that evolutionary mind that puts you in the position you're in. So
it does. And I have the honor and blessing to also see it reflected through all the people that come to me for sessions, because I get to see this energy that is coming to the planet right now being fractalized through all these different charts. And it's like, when I say it's non-negotiable, I am saying it's non-negotiable. The Aquarius age is here. The new leaders.
So what is that energy? I want to know what that energy is that you see that's going through all these charts.
Yes, absolutely. This transition of awareness that we are going through right now is at the right place at the right time, because the last 2,000 years in the age of Pisces, we've been emphasizing spirit, soul, and the heart. This is key. This is key. Pisces represents unconditional love. Okay. Pisces represents the ultimate state of Christ consciousness. This is why Christ came into the world at the beginning of the Pisces age. So at this stage, at the end of Pisces, we are understanding through the heart, through the connection with spirit, we are all understanding in some way, shape, or another that we are connected. And this is the migration from Pisces to Aquarius, is the realization that we're all one through the heart. And this is why being in the heart is so imperative, because this is the new intelligence that is now activating the intelligence of the new human, the new awareness that is now lighting up across the globe. And this new awareness is a byproduct of the energy of Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign that is associated with the mind, with intelligence. And actually, it's not just the carnal mind. This is the mind that is directly plugged into the cosmic awareness.
Right. So what are the characteristics of this new mind? I think you're perceiving.
Well, some of them we are already noticing words like activations, consciousness, awareness. These are becoming more and more part of our vocabulary. Why? Because these are happening more and more to all of us in some way. The same way that we're having this purging happening, because it's just all happening so fast and it's so intense. But at the same time, we're also receiving these upgrades, these activations. We're calling them activations, but really they're these upgrades into the next stage of evolution. So the more—
break that down for us. Sorry, not to interrupt, but just break it down. When because some people might not know they're having an activation. What can you, tell me what that looks like, and what, for people watching, it feels like to have an activation?
Well, there are different ways to experience this incredible time that we're in right now. And one of them, there's a group of people right now that are having a difficult time letting go of the old relationships, jobs, ways of living, places of living. And these people that are having more of a difficult time letting things just go, these people, they may have a harder time understanding how these activations are coming into the planet, and even being relaxed enough to open up and receive them. So the first thing that I want to recommend is to make sure that you are conscious of this process that is happening. And through that consciousness that you've developed, we've developed this collectively, this state of awareness that allows us to understand this. So through this understanding, choose the people, places, and things that are in that relaxed heart vibrational space. And even if that means that you need to be alone for some time to do this on your own, then so be it. Because being in this relaxed state is when you open up to understand what is also happening during this time. If you have way too much noise outside and distractions, you're not going to see it or hear. So those that are listening and that are actively allowing their bodies to be clear, their physical vessel, their mind, their emotions to be clear to receive, we're starting to notice things shifting with us. Some are having physical changes, biological changes. Other people are having just awareness where their gifts are being enhanced. They're getting new downloads. I don't know if your crowd understands this word, or, just sudden epiphanies and awarenesses.
Yeah, we understand that word. I understand it. So yes, of course, epiphanies of.
So there's a lot of that accelerated, and it's just the beginning. It's just the tip of the iceberg. I see this escalating, this momentum escalating more and more throughout the globe in a way where more and more throughout the next few decades, we're going to be evolving into a new human archetype, where we quite literally are going to be evolving into things that today many consider impossible or miracles.
Well, let's call the show that. image for the new human archetype or the new human.
Yes, exactly, exactly. The
It's
new
that
human. It's
the
quite
new
literally.
human because
Because
it
when we
yeah,
have the intelligence of our heart activated and we allow that to turn on our awareness, we're looking at the superhuman here. Now we are really capable of activating our DNA fully, accessing the dormant parts of our brain, and all the imbued mechanisms already just lying dormant and waiting within our body, waiting to be.
yes. Thank you for reminding, because the heart, you're right, is the key that triggers the higher mind, because people
Yes.
can be very mental, and if they're mental, it mostly means they're just connected from their heart. But if the heart, the love, the expansion is somehow connected to this conscious inquiry into the nature of reality, then we're unified as the human being. We have the left and right brain. I break it down to that. Of course, the brain is just a receiver, but we have the facility of the whole human. And it's taken the Piscean age of trials and tribulations.
Open the heart.
Of struggle, right. And I think Jesus does represent that, although the last 2,000 years have not been a picnic. It's been an intense time for humanity, and maybe we're coming to the end, perhaps, of atrocities, of awfulness, of blame, and just the horrible things that we witnessed in the last century. I know we've both had lifetimes of that, and it wasn't fun, but it does awaken the passion for this moment in time and the potential that we've neglected or haven't come online in these past ages and those past incarnations. We are ready to become the new human, whole brain, compassionate, and see what the next level is bringing to us. I think what's so exciting about this time, and I think astrology is a great metaphor, is that as the cycles shift, we don't exactly know how those combinations are going to manifest itself within the actuality of experience. And that's the adventure of incarnation.
Exactly, because there are different scenarios. There's different directions we can go with this energy of Aquarius.
Right.
Just because the energy of Aquarius is new and coming in, it doesn't mean it's one path and that's it. There's many different possibilities of what that could mean. And this is why it's so important for us to use the intelligence of the heart that we've developed throughout these 2,000 years of incarnation upon incarnation upon incarnation, to understand that without the heart, with just the mind alone, we're going to destroy ourselves, because one comes with the other. And so we have the choice right now to consciously choose with awareness where we are going to feed our attention, our awareness to, because our awareness right now is very powerful. We are manifesting instantaneously, and this is only going to grow. So the stage where we're in right now is that we're being given a choice to how we are going to access and walk through the Aquarius era with awareness, with sovereignty, and through the heart. And when we do that, the possibility for humanity is infinite. We have all the solutions available to heal the planet, to restore education, harmony, aspects of the government, even the financial systems. I mean, that's what the next 2 years are all about. It's the transformation of all of this. And that's why it's imperative for us to show up with awareness and heart.
The intelligence of the heart, I think you're so right. And the passion of the mind, I think, is the combination that will harness the new human being. If we can realize the heart does have that intelligence, and that there is this love in the Aquarian age, I'm talking of Aquarian, this love of knowledge, this love of exploration. That's how I see the Aquarian energies, and this, we're using that intelligence of the heart to create these realities that will benefit all people, all beings, because The reason we've incarnated, what's your feeling, the reason for, oh, go ahead, take a sip and then,
Oh, go ahead.
no, take a sip and then the reason for incarnation.
The reason for incarnation?
Yes, I was just wondering what you feel like. Why did we come into these bodies in the first place?
There are many directions we could go with that question, but I will say overall, there is an aspect of self-awareness. And that comes, at least in this universe, through the law of oneness, unconditional love. That is awareness, unconditional love. And so in order for us to have that understanding of that, we must go through all the experiences, and we must experience ourselves in every single, not just as different humans, but different life forms. And I mean, that's what the awareness is doing anyway, is experiencing itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then through that knowing, it expands.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. No, go ahead, continue. Go ahead.
So we as a fractal of this ultimate mind, we are also in our own way in the human experience, experiencing ourselves through all the different aspects of Gaia. To me, it's aspects of Gaia. So humans, animals, rocks, yes.
But I think you're right. We're here because experience is what the divine wants to have in the form of this. But I think what is also happening in this realm of experience, which is the incarnation, is that we're going, like we've been talking about, to another level of experiences. The new human is the ability to experience new feelings, new possibilities, new gifts. And so the upgrade, right?
I want to really emphasize what you're saying, because what you're saying is very powerful. And I feel like a lot of people are still holding on to a lot of the different aspects of who they are, even in different lifetimes, or even different avatars in other solar systems or other star systems. Mm-hmm. And that is very beautiful. This awareness is very beautiful. But remember that you're here for a reason. And exactly what you said, there is something spectacular happening right now where there is no manual to tell us where we're going next. There is no star system or family. Like, we are choosing. So we are creating a brand new experience for what we call humanity. We, through sheer virtue of allowing ourselves to break the molds and the limits of what is possible. And we are creating the script.
And that's what's so exciting.
Yeah, we are opening up to new gifts within ourselves, new possibilities, and new realities.
Oh, thanks for mentioning that. Yes. No, that's exactly what I'm so excited about, is that the unknown is at our doorstep. It's right here. If we really willing to step into that. And people fear the unknown only because they're projecting the known onto what they think the unknown is. When something is unknown, it has nothing to do with what you know. It is the possibility of miracles, of infinite potential, of all the things we have yet to imagine. This is what the unknown, Aquarian, new human, I feel, represents. If you fear the known, you're just projecting what you already know. We're talking about something unimaginable, and to welcome that, to welcome it, because if you can imagine it, it's already old. But if you can imagine that cognition of new realities, then perhaps something truly miraculous, something truly unknown will come into the human realm and help to transform this world from what is known into an incredible avenue of possibilities we have yet to consider. So that's,
and I feel some people in the crowd watching this, also just feeling like, well, how do I do that? And I want to just recommend here that we are going through a very intense process right now of finalizing this purge so that we can shift the software, the program in here, and just open up to understand all these new realities that we're talking about. So along with this, there's a lot of the old leaving. There is the death of identity of who we used to be, a little bit of the mourning of that, so it is a little process here. But for as much as possible, really make it a priority to live with a light heart. Okay, this is the most important thing. And even when I say things like, oh, the angels and the guides and the star systems, like, I'm not saying they don't exist and they're not here supporting, but like you're saying, Alan, allow yourself to see more. These concepts have guided us to where we are today. And now we are ready to open up to understand these concepts in a new way. Wow. So just allowing this joy to permeate your days and open up to the new possibilities that are opening up in front of us right now.
That is great.
Be enjoy, follow your heart, follow your yes. You are changing, your services are changing, your the things you're attracted to are changing, the people, the places. Allow that to change. Allow that to change and look into the future. Foresee in 10 years from now where you see humanity at, and ask yourself, how can I be there in 10 years contributing? And what do I need to do today to start that?
Beautiful. That is great. Actually, thank you. We'll continue the series, but just as a quick weather report for what's coming up this next, with the eclipses today being, that thinnest between the veils, but also particularly eclipse on election day, what that might mean as
Let the old go.
What?
It's going to be a lot of the purging. These next 2 months is where the last little, I had a workshop a couple of weeks ago on the eclipses, and I called it the final purge. That was the name, that was the title. And eclipse energies, they'll last for a year. So we are looking here at this whole next year where we're going through this final purging. And this part of the process that we're in right now, these next 2 months, is where it gets really intense. And the reason why it gets intense is because we are pushing to the surface, including within our own selves, anything that has been suppressed, repressed. And there is this irritable feeling that comes up in our experiences right now through people, through things, triggers. And our emotions are showing us right now the things that are holding us back. So on a global level, we can see this, this energy right now is very amplified. Mars just stationed retrograde, and he is out of bounds. So he's just charging with the emotional charge, like all out. And this is where we need to walk these months with awareness, understanding that people are triggered, and this is coming up for a reason, and really take responsibility for what is coming up for us. Because all that is happening right now is that we are doing that final cleanse before we can step into the leaders that we are becoming.
Right. You're right. In order to be the new human, we have to let go of the old human. And the old human is sometimes below our conscious awareness, but we act in patterns. So it has to be purged. We have to see it. And the universe is for us. The term pronoia, where everything is for you. So if something's coming up, like something just came up for me the other day, it was an old pattern. It's like, oh, I don't have to be around these people. Oh, I just realized that. It's like, I can really say that it's complete without anger, but just a letting go, without even being the victim of like that sort of behavior. It's just like, oh, okay, I have a choice here, and you don't have to encourage that. And it just falls away, and that is coming up. And that is what's leading us as we let go. What did you say that really hit me in a good way?
Well, I know that right now what you're saying about that is something really beautiful. I want to add, if I may, is allowing also, like what you're saying, it's so beautiful how you went through this process, just really noticing, not judging, not even being the victim of it, but just noticing. And
I was actually smiling. It's like, oh, I see. I was smiling because it was that familiar thing. And I saw my body wanting to respond in a similar way, but I was just saying, oh, just had a different perspective. Anyway.
And that's what I mean about the lightness of spirit. When you can just flow with your situations with that lightness of spirit, regardless of what it looks like. So the same way that you approach a party or a gathering, you also approach just observing things come and go. And when you have that, it's a very neutral space and you can make oh, that doesn't serve me anymore. What's happening here is that you are getting to know yourself now, who you are becoming. And you're understanding that, oh, I no longer resonate with that. Or, oh, I can have a different approach to this situation. This was part of the old way of operating, and now I'm going to try this one. If you approach this with a light heart like this, I've seen people that are going through profound transformations so fast of who they're becoming next, all because they're allowing themselves to just notice what comes in front of them and let that communicate to them who they're becoming next.
Yes, thank you, Raquel, for that affirmation that the purging of the old is the reminder of who we've been, but not who we will become and are becoming. And who we are becoming is the greater awareness that lets us look more objectively at the human drama, the lightness of being, and to see that it's not about emotionality. It's about feeling. I make a distinction between feeling and emotionality. Emotionality is the traps of that circular pattern. Feeling is what we're here to do when we have, like you said, the experience of incarnation. Every experience gives us a feeling, and it's the feelings that of this new unknown adventure as we resolve the old that helps to create the new human. The new human is based on new experiences and new feelings and going into the depths of the potential we have yet to actualize. We have so much potential, and we, not to be too much of a conspiracy person, but we've been kept from our own potential by whatever. And now I think it feels like those forces are in their last grips of holding on, and it's just dropping away. I mean, even in my work with the UFO field, you cannot take seriously the fact that we are all alone in the universe. It's definitely not the reality that even the government is now saying there's something out there, and they've denied that for 75 years because they can't contain the old lie anymore. That is a purging. And the people I talk to in that field, like Linda Moulton Howe says, that is awakening of a greater consciousness, that potential, and that's where we're going. Sorry about the
beautiful. It's so beautiful. I mean, it lights me up. It's the reason for my existence here right now. It's why I wake up every morning, is to see what happens next. It's exciting. We are here for this time, and we are the ones bringing it in.
Well, thank you. I mean, let's continue this conversation, because for me, I have an appointment soon, but for me, it stimulates a kind of resource inside myself, talking to people like you on the potentiality of the human race and the coming into our true sentience. That's where we're coming into.
I love that, Alan. Let's definitely have more of these, even if they're 20 minutes, half an hour. Let's do it, because I
could talk to you for a long time. I could talk to you for hours about that. We could even do some live events in Sedona. Okay.
Absolutely. Stay in touch, and much love to everyone watching.
I will stay in touch. I'm just saying I have a PowerPoint that illustrates some of the points I was making. But what did you say?
Okay. Yes, I'd love that. Well, I just wanted to thank everybody also who's tuning in. And like I always say, everyone who tunes in is also adding to this light of awareness, to the new consciousness, the Aquarian age that is coming in now. So just want to thank you all for being here with us today.
That's so sweet. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, if I may, I'm just going to let you know, I have these free gatherings that I offer to my community. I have a large community from people from all around the world. And we have this online gathering once a month, every full moon, where we come together to look at the energies of that month, of the full moon, and really share in this heart space also. with meditation and tuning into the greater awareness together. So if you go to my website, raquelspring.com, and sign up for my newsletter, I always announce when the next free full moon gathering is. And I would love to extend the invitation to everybody watching as well to come and join us there.
I want to be there too. So thank you.
Thank you,
And
Alan.
thanks. And let's stay in touch. Let's continue and see where this dialogue of the new human can take us in unknown directions, and comments by other people and all that adds, like, yes, everyone here watching, present, we're all part of something unknown manifesting its reality to evolve us into.
And we're figuring this out together. That's why it's important to have these moments where we just kind of connect and come together in these hubs. We're figuring this out together. I love it.
Figuring it out, but also allowing it to unfold. So
yes, exactly.
Part of the figuring is what you're saying, the intelligence of the heart. That's like, it's figuring and allowing. It's something new is possible for the human race. I really
and watching it unfold. This is when I say figuring it out, is just like watching it unfold, because it's a state of curiosity, like where I can see a great part from the astrology indicating the context, but we are the ones creating it here. So we're watching it evolve in front of our eyes. And it's
allowing is a word I would use. Allowing.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for helping my Brazilian English.
No, you're perfect. You are perfect. But there's just like fun. There's something in the zeitgeist of the momentary movements through time that are unfolding, let's say, new realities. I really feel that.
And even like the agendas that have been holding back this information and now they can't anymore. It's exactly that. It's because of the cycles, and now it's time. It's inevitable. Now the age of Aquarius is ready to come in a whole new way for humanity. And so, the powers that have been holding in place the previous structures, they also know that. And that's why a lot of them are just backing out, and they know. So it's not about good or bad. It's just this transition of cycles.
Exactly. We're beyond the dawning of Aquarius. The 60s was the dawning of the age of Aquarius, like that song said. And now the dawn, after the dawn, the sun is actually visible. The light of that time is actually infusing us.
Quite literally. And let's remember, I love that you're ending with this, the light and the sun, and even the age of Aquarius. If you look astrologically, it is the polar opposite of Leo. And Leo is the light, it's the sun. And it also is quite literally the polar opposite of the era of Leo, which is where we have the fall of Atlantis. So this is really that straight connection with this timeline here, the Leo Aquarius polarity. And through that, we are also accessing the sovereignty that we've developed in that era. This is why sovereignty is coming so big into Aquarius now, because they work together, the Leo and Aquarius.
They do. It's not necessarily polarity, it's complementary. And that's
exactly. They're two aspects of the same thing. Exactly. So we get to use that now and invite this sun, this new dawn of Aquarius, this light of the sun. Quite literally, we're hearing about the sun everywhere, if you look at the correlation. So allow this dawning of the sun, the age of Aquarius, to rise within your heart, within your awareness.
Beautiful. Thank you. Let the age of Aquarius arise in your heart. I love that. Okay.
Much love. We'll stay in touch.
And
we'll be back soon.